weed, women, power, respect. It's my ATM card. It's just a little heavier.
Guns, the essential tools for criminals worldwide.
If you can't pump fear into them, you can pump a whole clip.
Colt 45s, AR-15s, M4s, MAC-10s. All examples of weapons trafficked illegally across the globe.
A gun will be passed amongst 15 or 20 gang members.
But there's one gun that police fear and all criminals want. A completely untraceable gun. The ghost gun.
Colt 45, 1911.
A powerful weapon for stick-ups, drug deals, and murder.
This gun right here tells the rest of your neighborhood you run it. You put 12 of these together in your neighborhood, you're the militia.
Phoenix, Arizona. Cross runs a business that's invitation only. His trade, illegal guns.
That's 44 Magnum. Your typical dirty, hairy gun. Go ahead.
There was one of those.
Cross specializes in dealing to one section of society, criminals.
I have somebody right now who I'm actually waiting for.
He sells to a select clientele.
As long as they'll pay, they get them. They're the bigger or better customers, because they buy more than one at a time.
This setup is a one-off deal. In a back room, selling to customers in the dead of night.
You looking for anything in particular?
For something more in the pistol range.
Yeah, we can do that one right there for you. Let it go clipping on. 7 racks. You pick up 2 of them, I'll do them for a G.
Eager to make a sale, Cross cuts him a deal.
Yeah, I'll take 2 of them.
For this client, it's an easy purchase.
Happy customer.
Prohibited from buying guns legally, for felons, this is the only shopping option in town.
Well, the idea is if you're going to do a crime and you need a gun involved in it, you surely wouldn't do it with your registered gun. So they come get it from people like us.
Buying a firearm that won't link a violent criminal to his crime is not easy. The reason? Guns can be traced.
Go to a gun store to purchase a gun. You got to use identification, pass a background check. So if the sole purpose of owning the gun was for no one to know you owned it, you just...
But guns come with an identity all their own.
If I were to walk into a store and purchase any one of these, the serial number of that firearm is going to be recorded. That firearm can be traced back to you.
Guns are also traceable when they leave vital clues behind.
When a projectile leaves the chamber and the twist inside the barrel, there are certain discrepancies that will leave gashes, marks, and scrapes on the bullet on its way out, causing its own signature, distinct, one-of-a-kind fingerprint. That is how, ballistically, a round can be tied to a firearm.
Sourcing from illegal suppliers, Cross sells what criminals really want. A gun that's never been on record.
It's a Colt 45 caliber round, model 1911. These are for somebody who knows what they want.
This model 45 caliber is a ghost gun. It has a fake serial number and no ballistic record. It's invisible to law enforcement. With this gun, criminals could get away with murder. According to traffickers, there's one place where high-quality ghost guns are readily available. The city of Danao in the Philippines. Danao has been a hub for gun manufacture for over a century. But legal gun industry faces periodic downturns. Many families believe that their survival depends on doing what they know best, making illegal guns.
Na kuan-kuan ni mga Epidoses edad nako sama kuan ni armas nya hantu garo ni 53 na edad nako armas nya ako di trabaho.
Hiding in a workshop deep in the jungle, Mr. Amato and his sons make guns to order, and they're all handmade.
Ilado na nang 1911. Muna pinakakuan diri sa kuan, Danau.
Developed and used during the Philippine-American War, this gun earned its name and was adopted by the U.S. military in 1911. Relying on scrap metal and simple tools, they use a series of templates to handcraft each part of the gun.
Kini nga pattern, pwede ni siya sa Combat 1911 Mark IV. Kani siya welding ni siya, yung ari, ito man grindan ni siya, grindan para ma-parehani.
Working 12 hours a day, together they make 5 handguns a month.
Nani nga mas mo ni kod, bayad na ko ni 5,000.
Guns help put food on the table, but they still live in poverty. In the jungle workshop, it's every man for himself. Amato and his family are on constant alert. They fear their jealous neighbors, their competition, are out to get them.
Suya bag mo sumbong to sila ngadto nga muna ikadakop na bana. Awana ondayon.
Weekly raids by the police mean Amato and his family are forced to run and hide in the jungle rather than face arrest.
Yaan gini na mo tanang gamit kun bahala gilang dadon. Tingin luya na mo dadon pa. Yang pamilya wa nay mahimo wa nay makaon.
For those sucked into illegal gun making, options are limited. To make money, the guns have to move on.
Muna na siya final. Nauma na gid siya. Kiniya.
This 45 is ready to test fire, but it has to work perfectly for Lumabon.
Ako mag-load ko ani 5 bullets.
Any imperfection in the gun could make it jam.
Kinahanglan mo boto para dawato na sa mong bayar ngadto.
Lumabon tests his own gun without protection. If it misfires, it could kill him. Luckily, his craftsmanship is right on target.
Kani ready na ni kan may pagkabuto para ready para adhato dano.
The mechanics of the clone Colt 45 appear to work perfectly. It's ready for its next phase.
Kini nami ani kabaligan dito sa lungsod. Kini sila ni magpapinis ani tanan jud. Kini sila na maghuman ani dito.
His buyer will put the finishing touches on the gun. But to get paid, Lumabon has to do 2 things. Get out of the jungle and into town without getting busted.
Ang dili na handok basta wala checkpoint. Nakasakay ko motor. Pangutan ako sa mga friend ko kung nabay checkpoint wala ko.
Lumabon gets a warning. There has just been a police raid nearby, so he's forced to take a detour.
Shortcut ko kung na-checkpoint kung agi migdaan na lain para lawas sa Danau.
With the buyer only willing to wait till sunset, he needs to hurry. It's a nerve-wracking business. Spies are everywhere. He's made it, just in time. The 45 has exchanged hands in its first transaction, but not its last, if the gun traffickers do their job. This ghost gun's opening price, $115. When they come this cheap, for buyers, it's all about the profit.
Ang amo ang mupalit naman og armas, ang mupalit diri kami basta naay mga stock mo deliver gimi.
Edwin is the first link to a large international distribution network that will see clone 45 caliber ghost guns all the way to the USA. But the smuggling can only begin when he's got enough of them.
Bayaran ni sa stockholder dayon siya na may mo stock sa armas. Pag naay mo order nga asa-asang lugar kinahanglan mig mga napo ka buok 20 ka buok muna to ang stockholder adto na niya makuantanan.
Edwin deals in a variety of untraceable guns, but he buys them all unfinished. They're missing one vital thing, a serial number.
Kaya ni kining 45 wa pa ni ma-blue finish, wala pa'y marka.
He sends them to a network of highly skilled backyard workers who specialize in making clone guns look legitimate. Most important, original brand markings and made-up serial numbers. Guns indistinguishable from the originals get the highest price.
Kana diri mga 10,000 kaning nani.
On each sale, Edwin doubles his money. With customers paying Edwin top dollar, he can't afford to lose any in transit. So he selects his gun mules carefully.
Muna nga ang kanang pagbiyahe sa armas, ang among padadon kasagaran mga babae gyud. Kay ang mga babae kung naay mga chick usahay, dili man sila pang rekisaon mga babae. Naman sila ay karsonis nga kanang maong ba nga sudlanan sa kanang mga armas ana. Naay mga sudlanan din ni ana nya. Dayon baksan pa na.
A shipment of Ghost 45s makes its way out of Danao. Smugglers use a method that is slow, but more likely to get the guns through undetected.
Dili po nang musakay ng mga para nang nasa pantalan diha nga mga barko kay moaging may computer di mo na pwede. Ang sakyan ana na may mga barko nga direct dito ba nga kanang way mga computer.
Leaving Danao, clone 45s will ultimately be delivered into the hands of an international smuggling ring. Transferred into shipping containers, this hidden haul of illegal firearms is on its way to America's west coast. When one of these ghost guns hits California, its value rises from $230 to around $800.
Go right.
North of Oakland, a ripoff crew is on the hunt. They're getting ready to hit a drug dealer's house.
I really like jacking people for their weed. I like the risk it takes. It gives me a rush.
But they also do it for the cold, hard cash.
I have the team. I have the treasure map.
Everything is in place, but they're missing one essential tool.
We need the guns.
For armed criminals everywhere, there's one tool they can't do without.
This gives me money, cars, weed, women, power, respect. It's my ATM card. It's just a little heavier.
Payback is picking up a brand new delivery from his gun dealer for his next hit, a ghost gun.
There it is. A 1245, 1911. Big gun. No matter what, this thing's going off without a hitch. This thing never jams.
Not only do Nightscope's customers demand something reliable, their guns have to be untraceable.
As far as I know, I bought it from a nation.
I'm Filipino.
I don't really ask too many questions about where it came from. As long as I can get them for the right price, get them off to guys like this.
Yeah.
I can double my money. He's happy, I'm happy.
Thanks to California's restrictive gun laws, Nightscope has no shortage of customers. This means he can sell his range of guns at top dollar.
They cost a lot more here on the street because people that can't find them, can't get them, and there's a market for them like you won't believe.
These ghost guns are in high demand because secondhand firearms come with a heavy risk.
Every gun comes with a serial number, and if it's knocked off, you know that's a dirty gun.
If it looks like it killed a whole bunch of people, it probably has.
Yeah,
You hold on to it, you don't know what you're holding on to. You might be holding on to 2 or 3 murders.
With every shot fired at a crime scene, even a ghost gun begins to build up a detectable trail. But while still fresh on the streets, a Ghost 45 can fetch $2,000.
Try to stay away from the high pieces, because I'm a hurt boy. I don't need a gun that's going to get me in trouble, because I'm causing the trouble.
He spends up to 10 grand a month on new firearms. With 2 grand invested, payback needs a payoff.
I know what's going down. You don't want to see this.
An hour later, his investment has more than come good.
That's a good job done, buddy.
Payback's jacked 8 pounds of weed.
Thank you, Mr. 445. When we ship it out, make this real money.
He sells the weed for 25 grand. He sells the gun, still unused, for $2,200 to a dealer with access to a bigger gang market in Fresno.
They want guns, big guns. Makes you want to just duck, crawl under your bed. Things that go boom. If their hood's going at it with another hood, they're buying guns for everybody. They're buying at least a little handgun for them.
Handguns are the most basic firearm for criminals and gangbangers. Gangs tend to go for maximum firepower, and the Bulldogs are no exception. Using the services of dealers like Midnight, they race to arm themselves.
Long clips, fully automatic, a lot of people look for those. You could pass by in a car and not even step out and still hit like 4 or 5 houses.
Midnight reckons that gangs like the Bulldogs, with scores to settle, use big guns to gain the upper hand.
It's the means of being able to accomplish what you want to accomplish without having to call the cops or having to sit there and talk it out. As long as you got the guns, you got the means of pumping fear into somebody. And if you can't pump fear into them, you can pump a whole clip.
Midnight sees a gun as an essential tool.
Not every person is smart enough to know what a gun's for. A gun to me is like a hammer to nail walls and build stuff. A gun, there's no different. You just got to find out how you can use it to your advantage.
For Midnight, cold hard steel has just one purpose: to line his pockets with gold. Starting with ghost guns like the Clone 45, he sells hardcore firepower that's illegal in California.
You tell one, hey, check this out. I know what old boy over there got. He got a brand new 45, man, a 1911. You need these 2 Tech 9s right here, bro. Extended clips. I got them. It's gonna run you this much. Now you go to the next guy. Hey, old boy over there, he got 2 Tech 9s, bro. What do you need? All right, I can get it. It's gonna run you this much, though.
He engineers it so his customers keep coming back.
Usually they're gonna shoot some out. It's better for me. These guys are gonna run out of ammo. They're gonna need more clips. I'm right there.
Midnight is racking up the cash, selling everything from automatics to 45s. But the only way the ghost gun will stay in business is by staying out of the cops' hands.
Oh, that gun will be passed amongst, 15 or 20 gang members, and it'll be used in a multitude of crimes.
Compact and easy to hide, guns like the 45 can move undetected in criminal circles. Bigger guns are harder to hide and draw more attention. For this raid, Ryan got a lead from spotting photos on Facebook.
Now we're going to go serve a search warrant location, a guy that is supposed to be in possession of some illegal assault rifles.
California law bans over 50 types of assault rifles. On busts like these, police are up against some serious firepower.
The problem is these weapons, they're usually high-caliber rifle rounds, which can cause significant amounts of damage, and they're very accurate. That they're going to, shoot a firearm at a police officer out front, that's going to change everything for us. The best case scenario is the individuals give up, they come out. Worst case scenario would be, they start shooting at police officers.
Fresno PD Gun Crimes Unit is on a gun raid. The cops suspect the target is heavily armed. They have the house surrounded, but no one's coming out. Then the target's wife appears. She's 9 months pregnant.
Where is he?
He's at his auto body shop.
Their target isn't home, but to get to the guns, officers first need to secure the house.
We good? We secure?
The raid has unearthed an armory of big guns in the back room.
It's just a 10/22 rifle. It's not illegal to possess. I mean, it's totally legal. You can have it. However, some of the stuff that we have here, when in combination with other guns here, are legal in California. This is a 30-round high-capacity magazine. You can't have them. You can't have those in combination with this gun. It makes it illegal because you don't have any tools to manipulate the magazine release. The magazine falls right out.
A magazine release means rifles can be reloaded faster, making them even more deadly. But guns like these are hard to keep out of sight.
Shotgun, when I pick it up, he's obviously chopped the front of the barrel off and then cut the stock of it off as well. They do this in concurrence so they can actually hide it or conceal it relatively easily, like underneath a coat or, in some kind of large baggy clothing.
A gun like this has added black market appeal. For personal protection, a portable handgun is even more essential.
I don't think he's coming back, right? Yeah, I don't think so either. I think he's hightailing it out of here.
When criminals give the cops the slip, handguns like the Ghost 45 disappear with them. But guns confiscated from gangs still often come with their price tags.
This rifle was stolen from a sporting goods store. Some of them even still have a price tag on them.
The ATF handles major gun trafficking cases and is cracking down on local gangs.
We executed a number of search warrants and recovered these stolen firearms. In all, a total of 56 firearms were stolen by members of the Bulldog Street Gang.
Because ghost guns are hard to come by, the Bulldogs steal from gun stores. Some of them they keep, but not all.
The intention was for them to be sold on the streets.
Anyone in possession of a stolen gun can be linked to the theft by the gun's serial number. But that doesn't stop criminals from trying to cover their tracks.
This firearm had the serial number removed from it before it was recovered by law enforcement. And serial numbers are usually removed in an effort to make it difficult for law enforcement to trace the firearm, to determine where the firearm has come from.
A gun with a scratched-out serial number means a drop in price. Anyone caught with one can go away for a long time. Ghost guns like the Filipino 45 may not immediately flag as illegal. When stolen firearms are too high risk and prized ghost guns are out of reach, some criminals head across state lines to Arizona.
This is the 1911. This one's a Springfield Armory MC operator. Most popular firearm in America. It's been around since 1911, in service to the U.S. military to this day. Wonderful gun to shoot.
Shooter's World is a gun store with one of the largest firing ranges in Arizona. Here, state law means guns are more readily available than in other American states.
Arizona is considered one of the more liberal states when it comes to gun laws. You can own pretty much everything that's available to the civilian market. This is the AR-15. It's running a holographic sight on top. Makes aiming a little bit easier, a little bit faster to actually get on your target. People love them, very little recoil. I've seen 8-year-olds shoot this rifle with no problem whatsoever, obviously under adult supervision.
The AR-15 is based on a military design and is available to any customer who fills out the right paperwork.
To purchase a rifle in Arizona, you do have to have a valid Arizona state ID with a current address on it. If you cannot prove a current address, we legally cannot sell you a firearm, nor will we sell you a firearm.
But criminals still target stores like these for legitimate guns.
We're also looking for what's called a straw purchase. A straw purchase is when someone will come in and purchase a firearm for someone else and then just give it to them, which is incredibly illegal. We are the first line of defense to stop illegal firearm purchases.
With gun stores locking down supply, Arizona gun crews are milking other legal sources to make money across state lines.
The states that have the strictest gun laws actually become states full of clients for us. Their laws have created that economy that makes the gun here so much more profitable there. You can buy the gun here and maybe make 3 times your money just by transporting it up there.
Sourcing his guns in Arizona, Cross is eyeing lucrative markets hundreds of miles away.
But the real money is moving these things to places like Chicago, New York, California.
To profit by moving product across state lines nationwide, Cross prefers dealing in bulk.
If you have an order, you do a pack of stones, you can easily take it out of town. You get 3 times your money on it. You might make 5-6 G's on it.
Selling guns by the dozen means Cross needs access to a serious arsenal. And one source means guns on tap.
At a gun show, you have your choice of hundreds of thousands of guns. Really, it's guns to rust for criminals.
When Cross needs to get guns in a hurry, he heads for one place.
You can pretty much get anything at a gun show. 12 gauges, 25s, 22s, M4s.
With a massive war chest at his disposal, Cross is exploiting all the rules.
Oh, we're definitely overworking the system. If there's a loophole, it's called the gun show. You don't have to show ID or fill out paperwork.
Cross isn't the only one on the prowl.
This is why the cops are in plain clothes looking for what they consider criminal elements. What we'll usually do is send in as many people as we can that look square.
Cross's army of mom-and-pop buyers target local gun shows like these. With clean records, they raise no suspicions. They can bring him up to 30 guns. But he's got one final deal to pull off. And he's in dangerous territory.
What's up? Yeah. Right on. All right, cool.
This illegal stash contains guns that, for Cross, are hotter than the 4th of July.
That's about what you do right here, huh? So these are the burners? Yeah, sure. Would you do $350 for these two? Let's do it. All right, sounds good. $350? It's all there? Much appreciated, man.
The more ballistic evidence left at crime scenes by guns like the 45, the easier they are for the cops to trace. This means the longer the trail of bullets, the more its value nosedives.
Burner's going to be a cheaper gun, but I mean, seriously, how many people really want to buy a gun that they honestly know was tied to a crime?
This 45 is loaded with years of crimes and has become dangerously traceable. Its potential sale price plummets from $2,200 to just $175.
There's always somebody who's going to buy it south of the border. They have real intentions of why they need those guns. There's a war south of the border.
Burners head more than 2,000 miles south to Guatemala, a country that bridges major smuggling routes between South America and Mexico. Here, rival cartels are locked in a bitter fight for control of the drug corridors, and weapons are in hot demand.
Mucha gente habla del crimen organizado, pero para todo eso se necesitan disponibilidad de armas para organizar a los diferentes grupos. De cada 10 armas incautadas, 7 o 8 son ilegales.
Minister Bonilla has launched new task forces nationwide. He's on a warpath to stop the flow of illegal guns.
Vamos a ver el trabajo de una fuerza de tarea interinstitucional en uno de los puntos de mayor movimiento de flujos de contrabando en el país.
In 1996, Guatemala's 36-year civil war ended, but now the country has a new battle on its hands. Its unique geographical position makes it ripe pickings for powerful smuggling cartels. Drugs flow north to the U.S., while guns flow south.
Aquí hay rutas de movimiento de armamento desde Estados Unidos. Son armas que vienen de forma ilegal, son adquiridas por la alta demanda y porque el crimen organizado en los últimos 15 años realmente tuvo un boom.
Landing under 2 miles from the Mexican border, Bonilla arrives at one of the hottest smuggling spots in the country. He's upping law enforcement's game.
Estamos aquí en donde está desplegada la Fuerza de Tarea Tecumumán.
Bonilla has brought together military, customs, and police to strike at the heart of the trafficking supply lines.
Este es un operativo de control sobre carretera para poder determinar espacios acomodados dentro de vehículos donde puede ir droga, pueden ir armas, puede ir contrabando.
But with the cartel's eyes and ears on the ground, illegal shipments are being redirected. Just a mile away, it's a free-for-all. On the Mexico-Guatemala border, Minister of the Interior Bonilla is inspecting anti-smuggling security measures.
Como podemos observar allá, mercancías que no está bajo control de las aduanas guatemaltecas. Hemos hecho algunos operativos en algún momento para tratar de controlar este tema. Desaparecen por un tiempo, vuelven a aparecer. Esta es parte de una dinámica de muchísimos años.
Smuggling is overwhelming the Guatemalan forces. That means contraband regularly makes it in. A new consignment of guns has just arrived, non-stop from the U.S. This delivery has had a helping hand.
Hay alguien arriba de ti, maneja policías, alcaldes, para que tú puedas trabajar libremente y él gane su dinero fácil. ¿No tienes que cuidarte las espaldas? ¿Va a haber policía en la esquina? No, él te protege. Yo a Estados Unidos puedo pedir lo que yo quiera. Ellos me lo consiguen. Las armerías en Estados Unidos te venden el arma como chocolate. Yo la mando a pedir, la buscan allá, me la mandan. En un mes la tengo aquí.
He turns his biggest profit selling guns that are dirt cheap. Burners, burnt-out guns like the Ghost 45 are his best sellers.
En Estados Unidos hay gente que se dedica a comprar armas en los mercados negros, armas que ya no se sirven a ellos porque las han usado. Pero cada arma cuando pasa de país, ya no importa la bala que tenga, porque no lo persiguen.
It's hard for police to trace guns across borders. Once in Guatemala, a clone 45 is effectively a clean gun, and its price rises.
Saliendo de ese país el arma está limpia y va subiendo de valor. Cuando llega a mis manos el arma llega a valer hasta 5 o 8 veces el precio que salió en Estados Unidos.
The Ghost gun is back in business, climbing in value to $650. El Negro makes almost pure profit on his deals, because he uses a special form of currency.
¿No hay dinero? No importa. ¿Qué tienes para ofrecer? ¿Tienes esto? Yo te lo recibo. Esto vale 10 quetzales. En Estados Unidos vale $200.
By bartering weed for guns, dealers like El Negro keep prices down.
Ellos no quieren dinero. Quieren esto.
With guns cheap, gangsters can cherry-pick their weapons of choice.
¿Qué tipo de armamento utilizan los pandilleros internos de ofensa? AR-15, AK-47, M16, tabores y galiles.
International drug cartels are infiltrating local networks.
Tenemos indicios de una participación directa de grupos pandilleros en el tráfico internacional de armamento. Lo que sí tenemos claro es que participan y dinamizan el tráfico local.
Special investigators like Pablo study the different types of weapons used in gang warfare.
Cuando van a desarrollar alguna actividad fuerte y necesitan mayor poder de fuego, utilizan armas automáticas como el AK-47, primero porque es de fácil acceso. Con este armamento ellos pueden desarrollar actividades ofensivas a más distancia y pueden hacer un ataque en masa.
But with cops on the lookout for big guns, gangs tend to prefer something more discreet, heavy caliber handguns.
El pandillero utiliza un arma como esta. Esta le permite al pandillero llevársela de un lugar a otro sin ser detectados dentro de una bolsa de papel o dentro de la mochila de un niño.
For gangsters, a small gun comes with big respect.
Entre más violento soy, más valor tengo dentro de la organización. Si yo me acerco y mato de cerca, obviamente esa destreza va a ser reconocida por mis superiores. Esta arma le permite al pandillero ser efectivo, pero tiene que acercarse directamente a la víctima y ejecutarla de cerca.
To carry out executions, gangs look for two things: ghost guns and a ghost killer. And who would a victim least suspect? A child.
Una pistola 9 milímetros. Aquí donde van las balas, tiene uno, mete, carga y ya tira. Poner firme la mano, por favor, sino con las dos manos, para que no batee.
At age 14, El Chiquito is a member of Barrio 18, one of Guatemala's deadliest street gangs. A veteran of 2 years, he's been given his own gun, and by day, collects extortion money.
Llevo mis cohetes ahí y les digo, si no me vas a dar, te voy a quebrar, le digo yo.
But for El Chiquito, the job involves more than extortion.
Así que con esta he matado gente, va. Cuando mato, con varios lados de tiros en las patas, en la cabeza, en el estómago, cualquier parte.
As a hired killer for Barrio 18, El Chiquito is at the heart of a deadly turf war with their arch enemy, the MS-13 street gang. He's on call 24 hours a day, and he has a job lined up.
5 ametralladoras, por. Gracias.
With no formal training, El Chiquito's learned to shoot by watching other gang members. He's also picked up tricks of the trade.
Cuando pongo las ametralladoras y voy a tirar un balazo para que no escuche la gente. Eso es lo que sirven mis cohetes.
El Chiquito is in deep enemy territory, on La Línea. Today, Barrio 18 has a score to settle. El Chiquito claims he's already used this gun. He can't keep it if it's hot. He will only use it once more. Pablo has just received a call. There's been a murder in the city center, on La Línea.
Vamos a visitar y a observar el procesamiento de una escena de crimen sobre un hecho de homicidio que ocurrió hace unos minutos en la zona 1, en la ciudad capital. Se tiene conocimiento que fue un ataque con arma de fuego a una mujer en la vía pública.
The forensic team is already on site, and they have cordoned off the area. All signs point to a gang killing.
Desde aquí lo que observamos es una mujer muerta caminando en la vía pública, una persona la señala, el disparo es a corta distancia, una pistola, y luego huyen.
This hit was done by a professional, and Pablo is certain of one thing.
No son adultos. La mayoría, el grueso de la actividad delictiva pandillera está en la adolescencia. Además tenemos que entender que este tipo de acciones dentro de la pandilla es reconocida, es un hecho positivo. La violencia está reconocida como un valor, como lo he dicho antes. De más violento soy, mejor.
With blood flowing on the streets, Guatemala's gang culture has a stranglehold on the country's teenage population. Today's murder wasn't done by El Chiquito, but for killers like him, weapons are the priority.
La 9 milímetros es más pequeña que una Scope 45. Sí, porque yo le digo, mira, por el jefe, fíjate que como esta la 9 no avanza mucho, dame una Scope 45 para que avance más.
In the 2 years since El Chiquito joined the gang, he says he's been forced to shoot over 20 people. This dump site is where some bodies end up.
Pues antes pensaba ser un licenciado, pero como ahora ya me congregué en esta pandilla, ya no me puedo salir porque me matan.
But it's not only his life on the line.
Me dicen que vaya, ahora si no, matan a mi familia. Por eso yo lo hago, por eso es que estoy metido en esta banda. Así porque cuando ya estoy más grande, ya hago, por decir así, ya me vuelvo yo jefe y puedo en mi casa tener más armas grandes, una K-47, una mini Busi. Siempre voy a tener más manos de arma.
The black market for untraceable guns, like the 45, earns millions for traffickers who sell them. But many are caught in a death trap. For those who manufacture or shoot them, it isn't about profit, but a matter of life and death.